Hi, and welcome to this week's video. Today I have a special guest on my video. This is Danielle. We're just gonna kind of chat. First, I wanted to say if you would introduce yourself and just kind of tell people what you're all about.
Yes, my name is Danielle Barth, and I am a hairstylist of 16 and a half years. I'm a mom to two great kids. My daughter just started college, and my son's in eighth grade. I have a wonderful husband who supports all the chaos that you're about to hear about. He's the rock, so we're very thankful for him. I'm a salon owner. I have three hair salons, all in Connecticut, and I rescue dogs and I teach fitness classes. So that's the very short, abbreviated version of some of the things that we're going to talk about today.
Oh, yeah. um, yeah, I mean, I feel like every time I see you or talk to you, you always have something else you're adding to your schedule and running around everywhere. And
I'm finally willing to share about it. I keep it close to the vest, so it's time.
It makes me feel a little less alone. I feel like I'm running around everywhere like crazy all the time. And to know that there are other people out there like that have passions in so many different ways, it's very validating.
Definitely is. There's going to be like a time in your future where you're like, you and I are not going to have that many experiences where we're like, oh, I wish I tried that, because we did.
Exactly.
We tried it.
I feel like that's one of my goals of life is to just try as much as possible and say that I did.
Yep. And sometimes we suck at it. That's okay. But other times, it's like a secret passion we didn't know we had.
Exactly. Exactly. I think that's amazing and beautiful about life. I think we're doing this right.
Yes. So far, so good. And I love that you're getting there at 25, as opposed to my more than 25. Um, and so I'm excited for this because I see a whole lot of me in a whole lot of you. So it's great.
That means so much. Seriously, that makes my heart glow. Everyone gets there at their own time, but I feel very, very fortunate to have people in my life that I do because I feel like I almost have these like roadmaps helping me grow and learn so much. And you're definitely one of those people. I look up to you so much. So, so one of the questions I wanted to ask you was, did you always know you wanted to be a hairdresser? Did you always know you wanted to be a salon owner?
Nope.
What did you want to do when you were younger, growing up? What was your passion then?
The thing I never wanted to do was own a salon. Never. Not a single time. Actually, I thought I was going to be a music teacher. I grew up as a musician. I'm a super marching band nerd. Loved it so much. So I play a few instruments. I still play a couple, not as well as I used to. Piano, flute, violin was my main jam. I was going to go to college, and my main instrument was going to be violin. And I chickened out for my audition for college. I was like, maybe not. But the time, not that I could see into the future, but it's like divine intervention that I didn't do it, because when I graduated high school, we were only 18 months away from the big market crash in '08.
Oh,
And so, of course, all the first things to get cut back then was arts and music. So it worked out that I didn't do that, that I was a big fat chicken. Instead, I went to community college to study business. And so I did a semester and a half. And then I found myself that I was expecting my now 17-year-old daughter. Best thing that ever happened to me at the worst time.
Yep.
And scared to death. And went to hairdressing school.
Wow.
Yep, by accident. Because I worked at a hair salon as a receptionist, and I was like, oh, I can people. People are great. So let's do that. And the rest is, as they say, history.
Wow. So, yeah. I feel like that's like a beautiful story, sharing exactly like how things, even though you have plans and you want to do certain things, like how life kind of gets in the way sometimes, but everything happens for a reason. It brings you to exactly where you need to be without even realizing that it's where you need to be.
Yeah, I didn't teach music, but my kids are musicians. And I didn't go to school and finish business, but I run a business. So, it all kind of just happened, just not how I necessarily expected.
It's like all of these little blips of your life kind of added up into where you are now. And yeah, I feel like that just kind of like catapulted you forward even more.
Yeah, in terms of like owning a salon and my intentions of doing so, I had zero intentions.
Yeah.
I was corporate hair salon girl. I was like, nope, I drank Kool-Aid for working in a corporate hair salon. I was a big champion for a big brand, and I loved it, and they taught me crap ton, right? So like I took advantage of all the education they offered, and they asked me to lead a salon, and then eventually lead two salons, and then become a coach to other salon leaders. So it equipped me for owning a salon, but I really wasn't the plan.
So how did you get to the point where you ended up deciding to open up a salon?
First, I started by being an independent stylist. So I'm a numbers girl. I love business. I love the numbers of it. So I recognized that my request percent, the number of clients that were coming to see me, exceeded the amount of money I was getting paid to do their hair. So if I was getting paid, say, 57% commission, but 90% of my day was there for me specifically, I was essentially giving, you know, 30% of my money away.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's dumb. Let's not do that. So I left the corporate world and I started renting a chair at a salon nearby. And eventually I felt like I had enough experience and my network of independent stylists had grown enough that I decided it was time. It was time to make my own brand.
Wow. How many years from when you left the corporate salon world until you opened up your own salon?
August of 15 was when I went independent. April of 19 was when I opened my first salon. So 3.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, 3.5 years and two salons, two independent salons. Yeah.
So I know that you had mentioned earlier, and I already knew this, but when did you decide it was time to take a leap into opening up a second salon and then a third salon?
Probably the day before I did it. Yeah, great question. There's like a certain kind of unspoken magic that happened in my flagship salon. We moved into our larger location because we expanded during COVID. Because what else do you do during a pandemic than triple the size of your salon?
Absolutely.
Yeah, why not? And so we went from 1,000 square feet to 3,000 square feet, and there were only four of us, and there were days and nights that I worked alone in this giant salon. But it took about 3 years for us to expand to, a good sized team. I think there were like 8 or 9 of us, which is huge. It's not easy to be self-employed, and so the people that trust me with their business and run their business within my walls really inspired me. It was them sticking by me and wanting to grow their business, and that's what made me decide. I was like, okay, maybe we spread this magic out a little bit. So that's what made me decide.
That is beautiful.
It was cool. It was really cool. It is really cool, I should say. It's still happening.
I know you mentioned that you went to school for business and everything. So
For 5 minutes.
For 5 minutes. So is that where you gained your perspective and understanding or like knowledge behind running a business? Or how did you gain the skills when it comes to business owning, when it comes to like the numbers and finances and even just being a leader in general to other people?
Life experiences taught me so much more than any school I've ever been to. And being surrounded by the people that do what I want to do. That's my number one advice to anybody who wants to grow in their business or in their life or in their dreams or their activities or whatever, is to just surround yourself with people who are already doing what you want to do and then not being scared to ask questions. We actively grow our social media, and we often say, what's something that you would tell your younger self or to a brand new stylist? And I'm gonna quote my coworker Bridget. She's my OG renter. She's been with me from the beginning. And it's, don't be afraid to ask questions. Ask everyone. Anybody who's doing what you want to be doing, ask them. And they're usually more than willing to share their knowledge or to coach you through it or to give tips or because everybody likes talking about themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody does. Because it's what we know the most about.
Exactly.
Right? So just don't be afraid to ask.
I love that.
Yep.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, I know that I'm best at talking about myself.
Yeah.
I've
I'm
always
an expert on myself.
right. I personally have always had a hard time asking questions, especially like on some of my old bosses, not even just in the hairdressing world, but some of my old bosses were very harsh, I want to say. And it could be scary to ask questions. Even when I was younger, I was always scared to ask questions. And I know you personally, you have this great energy that allows people to come up to you. But like, how do you create an environment that is both welcoming and encouraging to not only your stylist but your clients as well and people around you? Because I mean, I'm not one of your stylists or one of your clients, but but I feel like I can just come to you and ask any question. Like, how do you create this?
Can we talk about the irony of this question right now? Because occasionally I get this feedback that I'm unapproachable. So you're just like, I feel so just seen right this second that I really try so hard to be approachable. And so I think that it's a responsibility of somebody who wants to be approachable is to, even if you have RBF and if you have a face that might be a little intimidating, is to like soften and to make a conscious effort to be softer. And if it doesn't come naturally to you to necessarily greet every client, do it anyway. And so it's doing the things that you would want done when you're walking into a salon to do those things to others. So it might be weird to like walk up to your coworker's client and say, "Can I offer you a beverage?" It might be uncomfortable and you might be scared of rejection, but like that person is going to see it as a positive thing. So do the positive thing. And I think everything is contagious. I think there's a lot of negativity that's contagious. And so we have a responsibility to flip the script and be positive in a good way. Because that's our job. That's our job if you have it in you. So that's how I roll. That's how I try and, spread it around.
I love that. That's amazing. I feel like that it's inspiring because once, like you said, it's contagious. Once you start doing these things, that energy just kind of flows to everyone around you.
It takes practice. Like it's uncomfortable for everyone. The person that may see me as being like very comfortable being outgoing, but it takes practice. And I think that everything you do is a muscle and it gets stronger the more you do it. So just do it. Get out of your head. Big wing. Get out of your head.
We're getting there. It's a work in progress.
Yes, and you're doing great.
Thank you. I mean, even just doing these types of things, it's wild to me that, I mean, when you reached out to me to ask if we could do something like this, like it opened this whole new perspective in my mind of like, oh, like I have people that believe in me. And like, even with just taking these videos, like people are interested in watching these and like want to be a part of it. And that's why I do this, but to think that it's actually working.
And you never know who's watching it that also has something beautiful to share.
Yeah.
So like somebody could be watching us and I often think this to myself. I would love to have little like podcasts. And I used to have one and I loved it and I did it with my best friend. Now we're just busy moms and it's crazy. But I often just hold myself back because I'm like, who gives a crap what I have to say? Like, let's be real. But I think I could do some interesting days in the life, and because they're really entertaining sometimes. And then there's other days it's really boring. So I say just do it.
Yeah.
Maybe
Someday.
someday.
I know you mentioned just now about your, like being a busy mom and stuff like that. So kind of, I want to talk about your work-life balance because you work so much. Do you have work-life balance?
No. No. I do. When my kids were little, I used to work. My schedule was I think Thursday to Monday, and I would have like Tuesday, Wednesday off. But when I say little, pre elementary school, like they were home. So it was important to me to be home a couple days a week, and it didn't matter which days because they were tiny. When both kids were in school full time, full days, then I at least dropped Sundays. And that way I had one weekend day. And I think Saturdays I was out by like 6 o'clock. So, dinners have always been important. And one weekend day has always been important. But as you get closer, like my daughter's 17, my son is 12, I almost, for example, talked myself out of getting up to send him off on his first day of school. How did I justify that? By saying, "Oh, he's a walker. I'm not even putting him on the bus anyway." And you have to kick your own butt a little bit. And he has first days of school left. Now 4, because
Yeah.
now we did 8th grade. And so what if it's not sending him on the bus? So what if he's just opening the front door and going? And let me just clarify that he goes to school in his dad's district, right? So where his dad lives, that's where he goes to school. And it was going to be like a 35-minute drive, and it was going to be stupid early o'clock. And so what? So I think the work life balance comes from prioritizing. I think that every single person on this planet makes time for exactly what they want to do. And I I remember that even when I would rather sleep in or when I would rather whatever. And it's utilizing my calendar to the best of my abilities. And so looking ahead on like your kid's school calendar, that's it's set out for the year. Board of Ed votes on that hella early. So look ahead to those half days. Take the half day with your kid. Um, they have a Monday holiday. Take the Monday holiday off. Like you're going to regret not doing it more than you regret losing the money by taking it off. So that's how I do it. It's just trying to plan ahead, reprioritizing. Um, and let me just add that your kids, whether they're yours, whether they're nieces and nephews, the people in your life, the kids in your life, are going to see everything that you do. My kids see that I have a good work ethic. They see that I make time to exercise, and they see that I make time for them. They also see that I have friends. So all of those, I want them to emulate that someday where they're not just all work, and I don't want them to be all family, and I don't want them to be all friends. I want them to have all of that, and it's my responsibility to demonstrate that.
Yeah.
So that's why. That's
like
how.
that lead by example. I was gonna ask you what drives you, especially on days that you don't have that immediate motivation to just get everything done. Because I know we all have days like that where it's just like
Well, motivation's
we're trying-
crap.
yeah. Why do you say that though?
Because it's discipline.
Yeah.
Right? Like motivation is it fades, it comes and comes and goes. You lose the passion that you initially had when you first start something, but you continue it because you're committed and disciplined for it. So initially, that workout class that you take, that it's awesome. Gosh, a month later, you're like, yeah, but it's the discipline. You keep going because it's important.
Yeah.
So yeah, how do I do it? Is just motivation. Just remembering motivation is crap.
Yeah.
Discipline because you set a goal, stick to it, do it.
That I couldn't have said anything better myself. I feel like motivation, it is exactly that, and it's that discipline.
Well, you have a background in martial arts,
I do,
right?
yeah.
So it's very much something that's taught from like you were 3 when you started training.
I was about 7, yeah. So,
Okay,
but
well,
yeah, still very young. I've been doing it for 18 years, so
there you go. There you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
So you just do it.
Yeah, it is. It's that discipline. I feel like, and that's exactly how I think about it. Is like the whole martial arts thing for myself. I mean, every day in class when I was really young, we had these black belt principles, and discipline was one of the ones we always talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And even now at my brother's martial arts studio, like it's one of the like biggest words we talk about for them because it is so important.
It's a pillar of good character. Like you can't have good character without these like main posts, and that's one of them.
It is. I feel like a lot of people forget about that too, and they do. They just want that feeling of motivation, and when it stops or it burns out, they're like, all right, well, I'm not motivated anymore, so here I am. But it's that drive to do the things despite motivation.
And that's where the community part comes in. So like it's not easy to make friends as an adult, and I just touched on this as in my own little posty post that I put on social media. But I've always found that, well, I mean, don't forget, we work in essentially sales, right?
Yeah.
And so how do you get new clients? You go and join things. You have to meet people. They're not going to just knock on your door. So like I used to train martial arts and I love it and I miss it. Sorry guys, I miss you guys. And I have several clients from my time doing that, and my kids' activities. You go and you watch, and you meet the other moms, and you hand them a business card, and you have your hair done so you look like you know what you're doing. And oh, no judgment. No, I did this for you. This is not a normal day. And so you have to try things, and then when you try them, and then you meet people, when you feel like not getting up for that 5 a.m. class, other people are going to expect you and they enjoy your company when you're there. It helps.
So with the amount of things that you do regarding exercise and doing hair, owning the business, all of these things. Dog rescue. Yes, all of these amazing, amazing things you're doing. How do you prioritize your mental health?
I think all of the things I do are positive contributors to my mental health. So all the things I do, I love. And because I love them all, it has a positive impact on my mental health. Does it positively impact my rest? No. But I will say I am always tired enough to pass out at night, so resting is never an issue when it comes to sleep. I will say that the biggest struggle I probably have is I tend to identify my worth in my activity. And so something I'm actively working on, I think it's important to admit these things to ourselves, is that I'm working on not pairing activity level with value that I place in myself. So yeah, I loving everything that you do helps with the mental health portion of it.
Yeah, I mean,
Because dogs,
really,
honestly, it's
dogs,
just dogs.
Dogs.
They help anywhere. Where somebody's like, "Oh, you want to pet my dog?" Yes, I do. Yeah, every single time.
Actually, a question, really.
Yep. Somebody brought their service dog to the salon today, and it was magical.
Oh my god, I love
And he
that.
just went rub my belly.
Okay, my entire heart.
Yep, he was cute.
He was really cute. That's adorable. All right, so I want to jump back into kind of business talk again. So, how often do you reevaluate your business plans to allow yourself growth and like evolution, essentially?
I have a social media marketing manager, and I have these are my two biggest helpful um, business helpers. My social media marketing manager and my financial bookkeeper. And you've met them. They're both lovely.
They're both very lovely.
Yes.
People.
And so meeting with them helps. One keeps me posted on our progress in terms of marketing, and the other one keeps me posted on how much money I do or don't have. And I think at that time, when there starts to be some like red flags, then that's when I start to reevaluate things. Or when there's like constant green flags, you put the things that are doing well into overdrive. So anytime we have like a marketing video go viral, we then decide to add those style videos to our next filming session. Or if I have a class that I'm hosting at the salon that had really high enrollment, we keep doing those. So I think as needed, and I think I could always do a better job of just quarterly checking in, monthly checking in, etc. So I'm still learning. I think it's an important task to remember that the most experienced business person is still learning, and I am not the most experienced business person, and I can definitely identify that I am still learning. So I think that's important, is to just not be hard on yourself about not being on schedule. That's okay. It's all right. You learned from it. Fix it next month. All good. Move forward.
Yeah. When did you decide that investing in people to help you, or like kind of delegating these tasks to other people, was going to be beneficial for you, and you were able to afford it, essentially?
Some months I still can't. No. Especially when it's something that I suck at. Yeah. Like, I love social media. I'm on it more than I should be, but I don't have that talent in like branding and Canva, and I'm just learning about ChatGPT. Like, I do hair really well. And so anything that I felt detracted from my ability to do hair needed to be outsourced. So I was really slacking at the books, and I have a client that's great at it. So we partnered up. And I actually met my social media marketing manager through Dog Rescue. So again, connections that are made by other things that you love, and you just say, I give up, I surrender, like, I need you. And you start with what you can afford, right? Like, you just do a little bit, and then as it works and as the momentum builds, not only do we all make the time for the things that we want to do, we all find the money for the things that we want to do. And so if your business is important to you, you find the money. You give up Dunkin' which sucks. You make all of your food at home, which sucks. But you do it because these are the things that are important, and eventually it pays off.
Yeah.
Yep. Which feels like kind of this week. Like this week, it kind of feels like it's paying off.
Yeah.
We've had a really cool.
That's
so
amazing.
you know,
Yeah,
a couple VIP clients found us on our social media because of social media. And then a celebrity hairstylist reached out because he wants to come teach at our salon. So the magic just happens if you stay consistent. It's been a cool week.
I mean, you were telling me before too. It's
Yeah.
just, it is so cool to
Yeah.
see like how much you're progressing, even just since I've met you,
Mhm.
and the amazing things that are coming into your life. And then you share it with me, and it's fantastic.
It
and
is.
I love
Everybody
it
wins.
all. Everyone wins.
Everybody
it's
wins.
so good. I wanted to go to you kind of like as you were growing
Mhm.
as a stylist and a business owner. What obstacles did you kind of encounter, like while you were trying to reach your goals?
I mean, the most recent thing was our salon got flooded.
Oh,
That was fun.
oh no.
And going back to that sense of community, we were so fortunate as a salon that all of our neighboring salons let each of us rent a chair at their salon.
Oh.
So it just goes back to that whole community thing where it's like, if you're just a nice person, like, you know, there's tons of competition in the hair world, and it's a little catty and it's a little spicy at times. And so not being the catty one, not being the spicy one, all the good things will come to you because there's no way people can make up you having a reputation if there's nothing to back it up with. Like, you know, if the people that don't like me are going to say something, go right ahead. But aside from that, if stylists have space, we're willing to take us in, we must be doing something right. So the flood, COVID, we all went through that. And we just figured it out together, the stylist salon community. I remember feeling a lot of stress, not thinking I could get the PPE that was needed, you know, the gloves and the masks and the whatever. And I had to just kind of give in and ask for help. I was like, guys, I don't think I can literally find enough Lysol wipes that I'm going to be required to have to open our doors back up. So I reached out to that community that we had built, and it's the team that's really helped. And I don't mean just the people that I work with. It's the team of my family and my friends. And I think remembering that there's nothing you can do alone that you can't do better with help. So I think that's been biggest help to me is not being shy about asking for help.
I feel like what I'm hearing from you is how much community is a driving force in your success.
Oh yeah.
And one, I just love that. I'm such a big community person. I feel like everywhere I go, I find this amazing community that's just uplifting, and I don't know. I feel very grateful. I'm very lucky and very grateful that that's what I tend to find instead of like communities that bring you down. But
I mean, we're literally sitting where we met.
I know this is the Mission on Corn. Shout out to them for one letting us use the space, and also for introducing
bringing us together.
Yes. Along with just being an amazing community in itself. When did you start dancing?
September of 21. One of my girlfriends was coming, and actually, ironically, I did come here for a bachelorette party, maybe in like, I don't know, 2014, 2015. I don't know. It was a really long time ago. And that was really fun, and had a great time, and just never came back. Not for any particular reason, aside from the fact that, fun fact, I don't love country music. I don't love it. It's growing on me, but I don't love it.
Yeah.
So, no, I was in marching band. So like choreography and walking in a line and literally all of that is what I grew up in. So yeah, I love it. It was one of those things. I remember specifically texting my husband. I was like, I think that's my calling. I think I was supposed to be here sooner. And yeah, so that's how that happened.
Everything happens in divine time.
Yeah, it was fine.
So,
It was fine.
You got here eventually.
Yep.
You built the community, and
Everybody's lovely.
It is such a lovely place, and I'm so glad that we were able to connect here, and
When did you start dancing?
I actually started dancing in my senior year of high school, and this is gonna make everyone feel old, but I was a senior in 2017 to 2018. And so in December of 2017, Addison actually came to my school. Addison's one of the line dance instructors and one of the sons of the people that own this lovely place, and my brother-in-law.
Oh yeah, there's that.
That too. But he actually came to my school and taught line dancing. And one of my friends, her brother is one of the bartenders here, has been for a long time. So we started coming here when I was like 17, 18, because at the time you were allowed to come when you were 17 with an adult. Yeah, not anymore, but at the time it was allowed.
Don't get any ideas.
No idea. Yeah. So I started dancing back then, and then I danced for a good like 6 months. Then I moved to California, came back, COVID happened, and then I started consistently dancing again.
I think it was
3 years ago.
shortly after I started coming.
Yeah, I think I started consistently dancing here. It was 3 years ago in July. So what's that? 2022.
Yep.
Yeah. So
That's right.
not too long after you started dancing.
No, and not to mention like I wasn't coming nearly as often as you were able to because I
Yeah.
live further away. So
When I started coming here, I literally lived less than 10 minutes away. So I was here almost every night, and
relieved I don't live that close. I
you
was
spend
here
so
all the
much
time.
money. You spend
that's
so
fair.
much money when you're here.
Yep.
And just
Like-
even to get it, like that's all I would spend the money on. I don't
Yeah.
drink here, but
I was gonna say back when I was drinking, no wonder I didn't come as often because
yeah.
I used to like wake up the next morning. I do not drink anymore. I
Yeah.
quit drinking almost 2 years ago. Best thing I ever did.
That's amazing.
Best thing I ever did. But I used to like wake up in the morning. Now mind you, I was not driving. Fourth part of it. But the next morning I would wake up and literally do an apology for of like the bartenders and Addison. And like I'm kind of a jerk. Sorry what I might have said. I don't remember. But yeah, one of the many reasons I stopped drinking because I wanted to come back here, and at no point was anybody like, "Yeah, you were a mess." They were like, "Hey, it's a bar." Like, backed up. Everybody's gracious about my stupors, and because I wanted to keep coming back here, it's one of the things. I was like, I can't keep doing that. I cannot keep doing that. I'm a business owner and a mom. Like, I have too much to lose to be acting a mess.
But I feel like that takes a lot of like personal awareness that not everyone has.
No.
So even just the fact that you had that awareness of yourself and were able to make the changes.
Yeah.
Let's go discipline.
Yes, I tell people, and it's going to be a little crass, so I apologize in advance. I'm not addicted to alcohol. I'm a dick on alcohol. I am just a complete jerk. I am inconsiderate, and I am already a very direct person, but I am direct to the nth degree when I'm drinking. So no need for that.
No.
I don't need any help.
I feel like kind of like encompassing that, I guess, but more thing of mindset to obviously not as difficult have to achieving more goals that you set out for yourself. But what are potentially some mindsets you had to let go of, or mindsets that you had to acquire to help further the progress of reaching your goals?
I think that remembering that it's not all glamorous, right? So I was just talking about this in terms of like tracking my food, right? So I, am competing in my second fitness competition of this coming April, and yeah, so excited. Pretty dresses and sparkly bikinis. It's awesome. But what's not awesome is the behind the scenes stuff, right? And it's not the working out that sucks. The working out's great. It's fabulous. It's the tracking the food. It's the not going out to eat. It's all of that stuff. And so the mindset in terms of business that I've had to acquire is it's the gritty, unspectacular, non-glamorous crap that is the building blocks to the really fun stuff. So it's the cleaning, and it's the shopping at the beauty supply store, and just remembering that all those things, they go unnoticed. It's not cute. It's the 7 a.m. bookkeeping, but it's necessary. And you don't get to do the fun stuff and have the success without doing the boring necessary stuff. It's not fun all the time. It's one of those, if people had told me, I think I I don't know if I would have done it. If I'm being really, really honest. Yeah, I mean, I'm too deep now. I'm too deep now. But, I have a friend who's a lawyer, for example, and she's like, you watch Law and Order SVU and you see these lawyers and they're arguing for putting bad guys away. She's like, if I knew how boring being a lawyer was, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
And so those are the moments that I'm like, yeah, this kind of sucks, but I don't get to do my job without this stuff.
Yeah. You need both in order to actually be successful in learning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you said, it's not all glamorous.
Nope.
I don't think any job really is all glamour. It's just what is being seen by the public eye.
But you and I are both hairstylists. How many people are like, oh, you have to put your hair all day?
Yeah, literally.
Like, oh, yeah.
That's
No.
all I do here.
Now, it's dishes and it's towels and it's, not to mention you're having these full, like, brain dumping conversations with people and they're like trauma dumping all over you, which we are so thankful for our clients, but we also have to remember we absorb a lot of trauma, a lot of stress, a lot of family dynamics, and on top of having our own.
Yeah.
Right. And so when people are like, oh, you get to just play with hair all day, I'm like, you have no idea.
Yeah.
It is a lot. And then when I get home, my husband's like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm good. I'm just done talking. I cannot talk anymore, which is shocking. I know. I know.
You? Really?
I know. Yeah. Correct.
It is. It can be a very draining
Yep.
job. It really can be.
We're thankful. Keep doing it. I'm not
Yes.
telling you to stop.
No,
Keep coming. But
But it is. It can be very draining, and that's just the real it's realistic about this industry.
it's an honor to be trusted with that information.
Yes.
It really, really is. I literally know about somebody's pregnancy before their own mom most of the time.
Yeah.
It's just how it goes because they just can't keep it in. Funny part of this though is that my husband thinks that I literally give people truth serum. Like there's something pumped into the air, and everybody just like word vomits all over me. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, we just create space for that.
Yeah.
We just allow for it. We ask the open-ended information or open-ended questions like, tell me about your hair, open-ended. So what's going on in your world? Whoop! Here it comes.
That's all it takes.
Yeah, that's it.
It's that, and we had talked about creating that environment and like working on being the type of person that goes up to people and is welcoming and stuff. So I feel like that practice also just encourages that in our clients, and it's like we're therapists as well, which I love that. That's like if I wasn't a hairdresser, I'd be going to school to become a therapist. So it definitely aligns with what I love. But it is a lot, and like you said, we hold on to it. And I feel like it's also like, I don't know, this is something I personally do as a hairstylist, is like when I'm holding on to the energy, you can feel it. The whole room can feel it. If I'm in a bad space, everyone knows. I wear it right on my face. And something that I really work to do is not only just allow it to be there, whatever I'm going through or whatever like I'm holding on to, just allow it to be there, and that's okay. I don't need to focus on it. But then I also give the intention, especially as I'm washing my clients' hair. Like our hands are on these people. We are directly inputting our energy. That's like holistic, like, that's just how my brain works. But we're directly putting our energy.
Foof. We don't mind that. A little foo-foo.
But we're directly putting our energy into people. So as I'm washing people's hair, like I have to like, gauge myself and kind of bring myself back and be like, good energy. And even if it's just literally me telling myself good energy, like give myself a mantra to focus on, to then like channel that into my client. I feel like it gives them even more space to just relax and be trusting and feel like they can just be in those moments.
Yeah. It's one of the coolest relationships is stylist client. It's and it makes breakups really hard. Stylist client breakups really hard.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important to handle that with grace. And on the salon owner side of that is, who's going to retire from my business? The only person going to retire from my business is me, right? Everybody else is expected to move on from it or grow through it or whatever. And so I will never forget when I left my last food friend salon, and I was nervous to tell her that I was leaving and opening my own space because we had worked together for a couple years. So I will never forget the grace that she showed me and said, I've opened a salon before. I could help you. Let me know what I can do, and you have a spot here until you're 60. So I have tried to forward that kind of grace to everybody who's left my salon or grown out of it, outgrown it. And sometimes it's brought them back because they're like, nope, grass wasn't greener. Like, needed to come back. And you know what? They've never hesitated to reach back out. Um, and it's created this nice, like, inter-salon referral system too. Like, hey, I just had this renter inquire with me. They decided we're not the right fit. You're closer. Do you want to reach out? Or I have this client, which now that I have 10 stylists in my salon, like, we refer within the salon mostly. But before, say we had somebody who didn't do, grading or something, we have a whole network of people because we've always been kind. And so it makes that relationship, client stylist, stylist coworker, boss renter, or not boss landlord, I guess.
Yeah.
And just showing the grace that you would want shown to you upon any exit. That takes practice.
Yeah.
It takes practice.
Yeah, for sure. That can be a very scary thing. Being a client, leaving a hairstylist, being a hairstylist, leaving the salon. Yeah. Like that is, I remember when I left my first salon, it just, where it was far away from where I was. It just wasn't working out. And I was so anxious to even say anything. And I'm glad I made the move that I did. And I'm glad that I am in the space where I am now. But it definitely, like, those moments leading up to talking about it, it was hard.
Oh, yeah.
It was really hard.
Yep.
I have just two more questions for you.
Ready?
One, I want to ask you, what are some goals that you're excited about that you're willing to share with us today? Like, I want to hear what you're reaching for today.
I really like the idea of growing stylists. So I'm fortunate to really work with stylists that are really seasoned. So the stylists in my business, they don't need me for much. In fact, I'm still learning from them, both their professionalism and their technical abilities and all of that stuff. But that doesn't mean that I won't have younger stylists that join our team that I get to grow. So I hope to have the ability to do that. And then on the technical side of things, I'm excited to host more education in our salon.
And I'm so excited for it.
I just said Savannah's favorite word. So we have 2 classes coming up that I'm excited to share. We have a free cutting class. We literally just booked this today. Like, this timing is bad.
Phenomenal.
And then we have, seasonally trends change with the season. And so we're approaching, fall, and we're going into some darker, richer colors. So we're going to do a reverse balayage class in November. And so I'm hoping to do bi-monthly, quarterly classes. I would really like to work with more educators. So that's one thing. I don't know what else yet. I don't know. I'll decide the day before it happens. It's kind of how I roll.
Back to salon opening.
Yeah. Oh, there will be no more salons for a good long time.
You
3
say
is
that
good.
now.
Nope, 3 is good. No.
I'm waiting for you to bring one into Rhode Island. I'm just saying.
I'm not even licensed in Rhode Island.
Ready. It's okay.
Savannah's like, I am, so there.
I'm ready for it.
Yep.
All right. So my last question for you.
Hit me.
I feel like this kind of like, I like to ask people this type of question because of how old I am and where I am at. But what is a piece of advice you would give to your 20-year-old self?
My 20-year-old self had a 1-year-old baby. Like, she was a tired lady. Sleep more? No. My 20-year-old self, I think that just not paying attention to the self-doubt as much and to be a little older and a little braver a little sooner. I got there. I'm bold and brave now. And at 20, I was really unsure of myself because, as we've talked about earlier in this chat, things were not going as planned. Things were not. I had a baby that I love dearly, and it's the best thing at the worst time. And I was just getting into this career, and I had no idea what the hell I was doing. So I think recognizing that despite things not going as planned, that they were going as planned, if that makes sense. And that it was gonna all work out because we put the work in. It doesn't just work out magically. It wasn't like I woke up one day and I was like, "Ooh, successful." Nope, I had pockets of business cards all the time. Yeah, all the time. Not right now, but I did.
Yeah.
And to just be bolder sooner, to not be scared.
I love that.
Yeah.
I want to thank you so much for doing this with me. I know we had talked about it months ago, and I'm so glad to actually sit down and make the video. And honestly, I feel like I learned so much, and I feel like this is going to bring value to so many people because
I
of
hope so, and that would be kind. You know, that's cool. Excuse me. What I was hoping it did get out of this was just identifying some really achievable things, like to align your schedule in a way that prioritizes your priorities, and to not let other people tell you what your priorities should be. That's only up to you.
yeah.
And you know, if you want to randomly walk into the Mishnock barn and start line dancing, do that. I have
Do
people,
it.
yeah, I have people that are like 50, 60, 70, and there's never an appropriate age who are like, "Oh, I've always wanted to try it." Then just do it.
I tell people, like you said, I have older clients, and
Yep.
I
Oh,
tell
I would love to
everyone,
try that. So try it.
come hang out with me.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
come do a lesson and just try it.
Yeah. So if this whole conversation just made you like 1% braver,
Yeah.
that's all I would want to hear.
And come to the barn.
And come to the barn.
Come hang out with us.
Yes. So fun.
Thank you a million times
It's my
over.
pleasure. Come here.
God,
Yay.
it was so lovely having you.
Of course.
And for all of you, thank you guys for listening. And I'm excited for our next video. And I'm hoping one of my goals is to have more interviews like this coming up. So thank
Yay.
you for everything. Do you have any parting words?
Just do it.
Just do it. I love
Just
it.
get it done.
Nike.
You know what? Yeah, I was gonna say, don't come at me, Nike. Like, do the thing. How about that?
Do the thing.
Yep.
I like
Very
it.
good.
All right.
Stellar.